Alright, when you're filling out your score sheet for your tournament, what you need to do is look up here. It says tournament name. You're going to fill in the name of your tournament. And for this particular example, we're going to use the May Open. And the date will be 5/4/14. Now this is just an example. We're just using example dates and everything. The class, whatever class you're keeping score for, we're just going to say this is going to be the Class A. There is no section, so you're going to put a dash through your section. Game number. This game number and court number are super important when you're filling out your score sheet. We're just going to use game number 1 as an example and court number 1. And now you would fill this out to whatever was going on. Like if this was game 4, you'd put 4. If this was court 3, you'd put court 3. And so on. So you fill the top out. The next thing you do is you put the 2 players that are playing. Their player number and their handicap. Since this is a no handicap tournament, you don't have to worry about that. So we're going to have player number 1 play player number 8. We'll have Kenneth Tate as player number 1. And as player number 8, we'll have Biff Ames. Now, if this was a handicap tournament, what you would do is you'd go over here and put the handicaps for each person in here, subtract them, and then you'd put them here to start them out. Okay? But since this is not, we're not going to worry about that. Okay, tournament has started. The game has started. The first score that is called out is 2 ringers, 6 points for Kenny. Kenneth Tate calls out 2 ringers, 6 points, meaning he has no dead ringers, which are X's. They're signified by X's, and live ringers. He has 2 live ringers, 2 ringers, 6 points. So since there were no dead, we're going to put dashes there. He has 2 live ringers, 2 ringers, and he got points for those ringers. See, points for ringers. He got 6 points. This is points for close shoes. 2 or 1, he got none. And you'd put the total score right here, which is 6. Now, since there were 2 live ringers, and that's the highest you can get in a game for points, the other person will just have dashes through. The next one we're going to do is 1 ringer, 4 points. Biff calls a ringer 4. So this means there are no dead ringers, which remember dead ringers are X's. We'll have no X's, but there is 1 ringer that's alive. So you put that little 0 right there. And then the points for ringers, he got 3, but he also had a point for a close shoe, which this is 3 and 1, which this makes it 4. And you'd go over here to Kenny, and since he did not score anything, he would have dashes all the way through. The next one is 2 dead, 3. And Kenneth Tate calls out 2 dead, 3. So, in a 2 dead, 3, ringers, 2 dead, so you have an X. Here's 1 dead. Here are 2 dead. And make sure each time that your X's match up on each line. That has to be a must for each player. This player has 1 X. This player over here has 1 X. So you make sure that matches up each time. So 2 dead, 3. So you got 2 dead. Ringer 3 for Kenny. He had 2 dead. There was 2 dead ringers and there was 1 live ringer. He got 3 points for that, a ringer point. He didn't get any close shoe points, so you add 6 and 3 to get 9. And he did not have any live ringers or ringers for points or ringers for close shoes. Biff would get dashes all the way through. The next one is 1 ringer, 3 points. And Biff calls out 1 ringer, 3 points. You would take it, since there were no dead ringers, you put dashes through your deads. Biff has 1 ringer that's alive, ringer alive, 0, right here. He has a ringer for points, which is 3, but he did not have any close shoe points, so you'd put a dash. 4 and 3 is 7. And Kenny had nothing over here, so you'd put dashes all the way through. The next one is 2 points, and Kenneth calls out 2 points. So there were no dead ringers for each person. There were no live ringers. There were no ringers for points, because if you have no ringers on the stake, you're obviously not going to have point ringers. But you're going to have point for a closed shoe, which is 2 points here, nothing here, and you carry your dash over since he didn't get any score. But he got 2 points, so 9 and 2 is 11. Next one is 1 point, and 1 point is called out by Biff. It's the same thing as 2 points. So you would just put dashes all the way through, because Kenny didn't call the 1 point, but Biff called the 1 point. So you would do the same thing as a 2 point, but instead of the 2, you'd put the 1 right here. 7 and 1 equals 8. Alright? The next score we're going to do is 2 dead, no score. And Kenny calls out 2 dead, no score. So there were 2 dead ringers on the stake, 1 by each person, and no score. Nobody had any scoring points. So you would put dashes all the way through, because there were no live ringers, no ringer points, no points for closed shoes. The next one is called 2 dead, 1 point. It's essentially the same thing as the 2 dead, no score, except somebody got 1 point. And we're going to say Biff got 1 point. So you'd write the 2 dead, but instead of a dash here, he got 1 point here. So it's 9, because 8 and 1 is 9. The next one is 4 dead. 4 dead is when all 4 ringers are on the stake and they all cancel each other out. So 4 dead. There's 1 dead, there's 2 dead, there's 3 dead, and there's 4 dead. All 4 are dead shoes. Since they're all dead, there are no live ringers, and since there are no live ringers, and live ringers are the only way you can score points, there are no points and no score added. And the last one is no score, which simply means nobody had dead or live ringers and nobody scored any points. So let's just say the game is over, okay? Now we're going to go to the bottom of the paper. You're going to look at your shoes right here. You're going to go back up here and see that they had 20 shoes for the whole match. And here you're going to write 20. Then you're going to go over here on this side. And you see this box here? This is under the dead ringers column. So you're going to count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And over here he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure that on each score sheet the dead ringers add up the same. There must be the same amount of dead ringers on this side and the same amount of dead ringers on this side. And we have that, so we're going to put 5 for each person's dead ringers. The next box is under the live ringers column, right there. You're going to count them up. 1, 2, 3 for Kenny, 1, 2 for Biff. So you're going to put 3 and 2. Then you go here. You see these two have lines? You add them together because there's that plus sign right there. 5 and 3 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. Since this was not a handicap, you put a dash through the handicap bar. You go up to your closed shoes. It even tells you closed shoes right there in that little circle. You follow it up and you see that you have 2 points under closed shoes. Closed shoes, 2 points. Go back all the way down and put 2 here. And these 2 you add together, 2 and 0, which is 2. And then you add it across. 9, 2, 11. This is 11. The score is 11. So this checks. You go over here. 5 and 2 is 7. 2 times 3 is 6. There is no handicap. Go back up to the closed shoes. 1, 2, 3. 3. You add these together, which is 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9, 9. This checks. Then you put your ringer percentage there, whatever it may be, and you are ready to turn this in to the scoring table at your horseshoe tournament. Thank you.